What's good, Gen Nation? How's everyone doing? It's your boy ScytheX here. This is going to be our first video of 2022, actually. The purpose of this video is to give everyone an update of what's out and what's coming out this month. So there's a lot to get into, and I don't want to waste time, so let's dive in. Before we get into all the games that are out and coming, we're going to briefly talk about some recent news. So with that being said, the biggest news to come out in the last couple weeks, I would say, is the brewing console war of developers being purchased. Now, I'm going to talk about the Bungie one first. These two purchases, they're so connected without being connected. It's crazy. Bungie was, if you don't know, the originators, the creators, the creative mind behind the game Halo, up until I believe Halo 3. And then 343 decided to take control when Microsoft bought the rights to Halo from Bungie, and Bungie decided to break away. Bungie breaking away from Microsoft was a major thing back in the day. But the Halo train kept moving with Microsoft's, I guess it was their, Bungie's parting gift. It's like, to Microsoft, basically, here, take it, we're out. They then link up with Activision. Activision purchases Bungie, and right away they start, producing Destiny 1. This was Bungie's passion project. Activision gets on board, starts infusing them with money, and Destiny's born. And honestly, despite all the problems, Destiny's been around since the beginning. Since I would say, I can't remember the date, but it was when the PS4 dropped. There was like a launch edition for Destiny 1. That was like around 2013, I think, 2014. It was right around Xbox One and PS4 is when Bungie dropped Destiny 1. It was a multi-plat game, as it is today for Destiny 2. But the point being is, Activision had full control of Destiny. Now, when Destiny 2 came out, they started to lose control of Destiny, where Activision was pulling all the strings. Now, obviously, as a fan of the game, I was okay with them pumping out, new Destiny after new Destiny after new Destiny, because that's what Activision was paying for. That's what they wanted. Bungie wanted to drag it out, and eventually came to an agreement and broke away from Activision and became its own independent developer again. So they are a free agent. They're out there doing their own thing. They have been controlling Destiny 2 independently for quite a while now. Now, Activision gets bought by Microsoft about a couple weeks ago. At least it's reported that they're trying to buy it. Now, because this is such a massive deal, the FTC is stepping in and looking over this whole deal. Like, if they find anything fishy about the deal, the FTC can shut it down. Now, I'm not saying that I want it to get shut down or anything. It's a major acquisition for Microsoft. It's gonna make things interesting when the Sony contract runs out for Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is strictly in Microsoft's control, you know. So we'll see what happens. That we got like 3 or 4 more years to deal with that. But Activision is now Microsoft property. It's a huge deal. If the deal goes through, it's a huge acquisition. Now, funny enough, people want to say that Sony buying Bungie is a reaction to the Activision one. It's not, because they confirmed that this deal has been in the works for 5 to 6 months now. Bungie, if you go to their career page, they're looking for all types of positions: developers, designers, art, sound, music, whatever. They have a lot of things in mind and a lot of games they're trying to or updates for Destiny or new IPs. There's a lot brewing at Bungie, and Sony's money is gonna it's gonna infuse Bungie with so much capital that they're gonna ramp up to a level that they're probably not used to be honest. They started pretty small and then eventually grew with Activision. Then they scaled back when they became more independent. But now that Sony's in control, they may need a new building, is all I'll say. But basically, what makes these two deals connected is the runaround with everything. Especially with Bungie. Bungie was a Microsoft property. Bungie's no longer a Microsoft property. Bungie becomes an Activision property. Bungie no longer is an Activision company. Bungie is now a Sony company. Activision potentially is now a Microsoft company. So if the Sony deal didn't go through, Bungie somehow would have been under Activision and Microsoft's control again. It's almost like the Sony saved Bungie from going back to the two companies that they tried to get away from. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. I'm sure the deal will go through, and Call of Duty, Activision, all the Blizzard games, Overwatch, will be Microsoft controlled. We'll see if they start stripping exclusivity from these multi-plat games, but they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot if they do this. I'll just say that. I don't think they are gonna get the influx of console purchases if they start making things exclusive. They're gonna shoot themselves in the foot. But yeah, so that's the weird, Bungie, Activision, Microsoft, Sony weird connection going on, and it's like Bungie's front and center. There is, because that deal was quote unquote 5 to 6 months in the making. They also confirmed that there's more deals coming, and apparently there's a number out there that's roughly 10 to 15 billion dollars worth of money set aside just to make more developer purchases on the Sony side. So the war between Sony and Microsoft is not over. They're just scooping up everyone to the point where it's just going to be the two companies left, honestly. Moving on. I want to say this is big news. I want to say this is even major news. But this is news that we've all known for a long time. GTA 6 was officially announced. It was officially announced by Rockstar. You know, the internet's going crazy. Everyone wants confirmation that GTA 6 is coming, you know, blah, blah, blah. GTA 6 has been teased through Easter eggs throughout their games, especially specifically GTA 5. There's also been leaks that GTA 6 is coming. So I would say there's no surprise that GTA 6 is coming. We all knew it. And it's also rumored that GTA 6 is going to be in Vice City. That from Easter eggs and stuff that's been leaked, GTA 6 will be Vice City. And it'll be a current Vice City. I don't think we're going back to the 80s. So yes, it's major news that they finally acknowledged everyone and said, you know, yes, we are working on this game. However, I hope that's, you know, I hope it's not just Vice City. Now they're saying this, they don't want to make okay, so they said they don't want to make, and I'm paraphrasing, they don't want to make the same game. Basically, every installment of GTA needs to be worlds, light years better than the last one. And if you look at their track record, it has been. And GTA has been evolving with the current hardware, you know. We went from, you know, a top-down GTA for 1 and 2, 3 finally got into the 3D aspect, you know, PS3 and 360, and it just went from there. Like, now we're in the GTA 5, you know, 15 years later, basically. They want to blow GTA 5 out of the water, and that's why they've kind of been hush and working on this thing silently, because they said they're significantly well on their way to building this game. They're not just announcing it saying, hey, we're starting the project now. No, they're saying the project's started and we're, you know, we're well deep into the process, basically. So with that being said, if going back to where it might be located in Vice City, I hope that's not the case, because considering the speed of, you know, solid state drives, the graphical and processing power of new consoles, and of course PCs with RTX model GPUs, we should be able to zip from one city to another with very low load times, fast rendering, and we shouldn't need it to be like a jump. You know, I shouldn't have to like, let me click Vice City and jump there and then watch everything load. No, I should be able to, and this is kind of what I want. I should say definitely what I want. I want to be able to steal a jet from the airport, fly to any city in the GTA world. So if I'm in Vice City, steal a jet, boom, I can fly myself. I don't want like a cutscene or anything. I want to legit fly myself to Liberty City. I want to fly to Los Venturas, Los Santos, and maybe, you know, a new city of some sort. I know they want to make maybe like a Chicago or something. That should not be an issue with the state of the current hardware. We should be able to bounce from city to city. Now, here's the thing. If they make GTA 6 in Vice City only, I would be semi okay with that if they make the online portion evolving. Don't lock it to one city. Make the online version be able to go from city to city to city. But I don't want to be locked in one city. Like I said, I want the story to guide me to go hunt somebody in another city. We have the hardware, the technology's there. Let's make this game epic. And if they're trying to be worlds different, worlds apart from their previous installment, this is the way to do it. Bring everything together into one. Now, GTA Online's their baby. It's been paying the bills for God knows how long, 10 years. It's going to continue, but it needs to evolve. And I think the reason they're bringing GTA Online and they're making it a separate download compared to the full GTA 5 game is to be able to expand. It's laying the groundwork to be able to expand, evolve the online world without impacting file size of the main game. So when GTA 5 and Xbox Series X get the new, which is coming in March, I believe, March 15th, the new GTA Online, it's going to be, if you please, a standalone. You no longer have to have the full base game installed that takes up, 100 something gigs worth of data. You can delete it, just load the online and just rock that until the new GTA comes. And that's probably honestly what I'm gonna do. So we'll see. They haven't given us any hint at anything other than what we've known from Easter eggs and leaks. So they do seem to be deep into the process, and when they announce something, it usually means they have something to show us. So I expect to fully see a teaser of some sort from Rockstar, maybe even as soon as this summer or late spring. So look for that. Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog announced that they are working on 3 new titles. Now we know one is going to be a multiplayer game because they've confirmed that. And everyone believes that the multiplayer game is going to be Factions. Now, if you don't know what Factions is, that was the multiplayer mode of The Last of Us 1, Part 1. Everyone kind of believes that Factions, if they even call it Factions at this point, is going to be a standalone multiplayer game based off of the mechanics of Last of Us 2. So we know a multiplayer game's coming, so that's one. The other 2 games, if I were to take a guess, would be Last of Us 3. They're probably, getting the actors and everyone involved getting them ready, locking it down. I would imagine Last of Us 3 is coming. And then the third game is, I want to say, another Uncharted. I think it's going to be another Uncharted. And I feel like the new Uncharted is going to be fresh off of what they hope to be a great, box office showing with the new movie coming. I guarantee they're trying to, they're going to see, hey, the movie excited the fan base for more Uncharted. Boom, here's Uncharted 5. Because I don't believe we have Uncharted 5. I think we stopped at 4, and then we had like a kind of side quest with I forget the name of it. Legacy or Legendary or something. I forget the name of it, but you get my point. I don't think we've had a number 5 Uncharted yet. So I would say Last of Us 3, Uncharted 5, and Factions are the 3 Naughty Dog games coming. Oh, that's my biggest guess. If we get some brand new IP, great. We can always use new ideas, new original games. And because it's Naughty Dog, it would be, exclusive. However, a lot of the exclusive games are also going to start dropping on PC. So we still got to see what PlayStation's new quote unquote Game Pass system is going to be, but who knows? We may get all these new games on PC as well. Now let's get into Ubisoft. Ubisoft released a game last month, which I believe everyone knew it was going to be a failure. Extraction. Rainbow Six Extraction. This game has been delayed. They've changed the name. Been delayed again. Like, this game it was doomed to fail from the start. And they used like the Rainbow Six Siege engine basically to make Extraction. I don't understand the hype or what people like about Siege. It's not what Rainbow Six used to be. It's like the game modes, sure. The gunplay being cover based, like in Vegas, which was, the best Rainbow Six ever made. That's where Ubisoft should be taking the Rainbow Six. They should be falling back and I don't want a remake of Vegas. I want like a new storyline of Vegas. And it could be, a different city. It could be New York, Chicago, LA, whatever. Miami, I don't care. Texas, for all I care. Or around the world, whatever. It should be Vegas style. Nothing can compare to that. And seeing Siege last for so long is blowing my mind, but seeing Extraction fail so quickly, I'm not surprised about. When it came out, I played it. It was on Game Pass. I was able to download it right away. And I probably played it like 4 times and uninstalled it. It's just not fun. It was kind of boring. You're running around gathering, like alien eggs, trackers, and I don't know, man. It just wasn't for me, and it's getting hit heavy in the review scores. It's not looking good, so they need to adjust and make some changes to make it more appealing, but it's not looking good for extraction. I want to get into now the games that have already come out. I mean, it's only February 6th, and we've had 3 major games come out. One being Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is a multi-platform game. Right now it's sitting at a 77 critic score. Not great, not terrible. They did have major bug issues on launch day, to be fair, and they had to have an emergency day 1 patch. So I know people playing it are enjoying it. They're having a good time with it, and it's probably because they patched the game immediately, which is awesome for the developer. Kudos to you. I would like to see the score go up a little bit, but maybe those scores are locked in because they played a buggy game. They didn't really experience it, so the score may rise as more people get on board. But people are enjoying it. I've never played Dying Light 1, so can't really speak too much on the series or the IP. But from what I'm seeing of some homies playing the game, they're having a blast with it. So that was on all platforms. That came out, I want to say, the 4th. What came out on the 1st was Life is Strange, like collection edition. That's on, I think, all platforms other than Nintendo. Life is Strange is a pretty popular IP, and I think that will do well. I think it should sell well. The game that just came out, I want to say on the 5th, might even been the 4th, is Sifu. Now, Sifu is a PlayStation exclusive. It's gonna be on PC as well at some point, if it's not already. But this is not something you'll see on Xbox anytime soon. It's scoring high in the reviews. It's a kick-ass martial arts style game that switches between third person and 2D platforming. Basically, it's kind of strange. It's not exactly a 2D platform, but the camera angle shifts to where you just see a side view of everything. And if anyone's ever watched Daredevil have a one-shot fight scene in a hallway, that's basically what you're doing in Sifu. You're just you're getting a side view of it. You're in the hallway and you're just beating the crap out of your enemies. Now, from what I'm hearing, is this game is extremely difficult. Apparently there's a bunch of combinations and martial art moves that you can learn to help you in the fights, but apparently this game is so difficult that people are getting frustrated and quitting because they can't progress after a certain point, I guess. Which is funny because the game is scoring high. So I don't know if at some point the developer is gonna kind of nerf the difficulty, or if this is gonna become like a Cuphead type of game where this is as hard as it's going to be, deal with it, figure it out. Which is, either way, pretty cool. I'm very tempted to try this game to see how hard it is. Very, very tempted. I might pick it up for PC. We'll see. But the art style is very Absolver looking. It's very like matte colors, flat colors. Here, I'll show you. Like, it's very,
Guys, we got a problem here.
you know, just look at this. Like, the move sets look insane. But, you know, the faces aren't smooth. It's all boxy. Like, the arms are rounded, but the face is square. It's a weird art style. It's very much kind of like Absolver. Well, look, now he's got a weapon. He's gonna launch it and then just beat the crap out of this guy.
Only Sean's disciples have passed his
This game is pretty wild. Let me see if I can skip to like a side view of something. But yeah, as you can see, like it's just you versus everybody basically, and you're just you're just constantly fighting. And I think the difficulty may lie in the amount you have to fight. Like, there's no breaks, there's no progressing a story. That was kind of strange. Just switched. There's no progressing a story, you know, by doing, you know, a random activity. You're just constantly like, oh, here, I made it to a new area and now I have to fight. Like, you're just constantly fighting. So it's interesting. But I'm very curious to see how difficult this game actually is, because people are quitting it. People are actually quitting it. So we'll see. I would say next on the list is Destiny the Witch Queen. This comes out on all platforms. This comes out on February 18th. Now this is all platforms: PC, Stadia, Xbox, PlayStation. Bungie confirmed Destiny is going to remain multi-platform for now. That may change if they decide to scrap D2 and make a D3, but D2 itself is going to remain multi-platform. Now, the idea behind the Witch Queen, if no one's ever played Destiny, is in Destiny 1, you've killed Savathun's brother Oryx, and the Witch Queen is Savathun. So she finally comes back many years later, and she's got a bone to pick with you basically, and she starts harnessing the power of the light, which is basically what gives your guardian the power that they have. So you're going to be fighting enemies that are wielding the same power as you, and you're going to have to go up against Savathun, which I'm hoping is going to be the raid, because what they did with the Taken King was you had to fight Oryx, and then he runs. After you beat him, he runs, and then you have to do the raid, beat Oryx for real, which is, you know, very difficult. And I hope they do that with the Witch Queen. I want to see us go into a raid and have the final fight be Savathun. But they didn't really show the Dreadnought. So apparently the Taken King raid is coming back, as they've been rolling out, you know, old stuff for quite some time now. But that could actually be. No, it wasn't. That was for Throne World. Yeah, so I don't know. Apparently the Dreadnought's coming back, but we'll see. But again, this is a multi-plat game. This is Destiny 2. This is the Witch Queen. Comes out February 18th. Moving on, we have we're gonna go down the list now from PC games. I'm just gonna run Sifu gameplay in the background as we do this. So on the PC side, you know, as I mentioned, Life is Strange and Dying Light, we're already out. Then we have Ali Ali World, which is a skateboarding, like cartoony skateboard game that's coming out for PC and I believe Nintendo. Well, that's multi-plat. That is on all, yeah, that's on all platforms. And then we have Rumbleverse, which comes out February 8th with Ollie World. Then we have Lost Ark, February 11th, and then Dynasty Warriors 9 on the 15th. I would say the biggest thing to come out for the PC this month would be Destiny 2, Life is Strange, Sifu, and also Elden Ring. Elden Ring comes out this month, February 25th. Now, moving on to Nintendo. Nintendo also got Dying Light 2. I don't know how you play Dying Light 2 on Nintendo because the hardware for Nintendo is just god-awful compared to Xbox and PlayStation. But with that being said, Dying Light 2 is on Nintendo. Ali Ali World comes out February 8th, as I said, which I feel like this game would do better on Nintendo than the other platforms. It seems more of that style, that art style. Assassin's Creed the Ezio collection comes out February 17th. That's another kind of game like, how's it gonna look on Nintendo? And then Evil Dead at some point in February. There's no date, but not much brewing on the Nintendo side. With Xbox, we have Crossfire X February 10th. Some people are hyped about it. We'll see how it does. Haven't really seen too much on it. So that's on the 10th. Lost Ark 11th, as I said before. Then we have the Witch Queen on the 22nd. Elden Ring on the 25th. And Evil Dead. Elden Ring, Destiny 2 is probably going to yield the most sales for Xbox of that month. Elden Ring's a major release. And if we're looking at the PlayStation side, Elden Ring, it's going to be, because it's multi-plat, Elden Ring is going to, it's like one of the most anticipated games. So it's just gonna sell through the roof on all platforms, and it might be one of the biggest selling games of the month because it's multi-platform. But the only problem with that is a little game I like to call Horizon Forbidden West. Now, this is a PlayStation exclusive. This comes out
The Forbidden West.
I'm sorry. This comes out February 18th.
From the ruins.
Now, if you've had the privilege of playing it on PlayStation 4, the first one, you know how beautiful and incredible this game is. Now, I'm going to say this. I've said it in the past on previous podcasts and things like that. Horizon is what everything I want Zelda to be. If you can produce a Zelda game that can look like Horizon on Nintendo hardware, you'll have the best Zelda ever made. You'll have the most sales of any video game ever. But Nintendo sticks with their cartoony crap and all the, you know, technological advances on the hardware goes to Xbox and Sony every time. And you don't have to be a rocket science to figure out that Horizon is utilizing every possible ounce of power and visual, you know, video power, graphic power that it can. This game is designed for next gen, and we're gonna see it. It comes out February 18th. I've been, as well as multiple you know, fans of the series, we have been waiting for this game for a long time, and this is the first time we're getting underwater, by the way. But this game, Horizon 1, sold a lot of copies, and it was in the running for Game of the Year. But the problem is, the game came out the same year Breath of the Wild did, and the power of the Nintendo fan base, I would say they outvoted Horizon tenfold because of Breath of the Wild. And I'm not saying Breath of the Wild is bad. Obviously, it's a good game. It's just lacking. It's a lacking story. It's lacking a lot that Horizon gives you. Like, Aloy is basically Link. You know what I mean? You're going up against Guardians in Zelda, but now in Horizon you're going up against these machines of different animals. You know what I mean? Like, the similarities between the two, as far as, you know, open world and what you're fighting, it's there. And I don't know, this game's just gonna dominate. It's gonna dominate until it can't. And what I mean by that is God of War comes out at some point this year. I forget the date. And probably Breath of the Wild 2. Now, if Nintendo was smart, they would push Breath of the Wild 2 to next year and have it, you know, have its own time, its own year to, you know, breathe, and not kind of try to squeeze in between God of War, you know, Horizon. It's just this year is jam packed with banger games coming out for all platforms involved. So because they didn't announce a date, Breath of the Wild 2 should push to next year. With that being said, Horizon comes out this month, and I'm amped as shit for this game, so I'll be on this for the foreseeable future when this game drops. And if you don't have a PlayStation and you needed a reason to get one, this is that reason. I highly suggest playing the first one first, obviously. They did upgrade it a little bit for the PS5, and it's still going to look great. But I highly suggest playing the first and then going to this one. But this type of exclusive is a console seller. You know what I mean? Like, this is what Sony's spending millions, billions of dollars on developers. This is why. This is the type of game that they're, you know, looking to produce. God of War, you know, for example. Like, those are the games that we're looking for as a gamer, as a player, and it's what Sony's looking for out of their developers. Something that's gonna push their consoles to the limits, and we're gonna get that with this game. So I can't wait. That's February 18th. Um, like I said, Witch Queen the 22nd. You have Elden Ring on the 25th. Dying Light 2. Already out. Sifu just out. So February is pretty jam-packed. I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty jam-packed. Now, the last bit of news I'm gonna say is Ghost Tokyo. They had a Sony had a state of play last week that kind of showed Ghost Tokyo, like more gameplay. And if you're watching the video, you're gonna see like I can't figure out if I'm going to like this game or not. I don't know. It looks like it has potential. Visually, it looks great. And the premise behind it is, I guess you have these abilities to see ghosts, to see the paranormal. And you have these abilities to get rid of them. Get rid of the evil spirits or whatever. And it just visually, it looks crazy. It looks so good. And even when you're using your powers, it's just like so colorful and like crazy looking. There's all types of things, you like elemental, you have fire, wind, and water that you're working with. Like it's just, there's so much. With all that being said, I just don't know like what is this game about other than ghost hunting. I need to know more. And if you wanted to learn more, watch the state of play. But like I said, visually this game looks incredible. This isn't coming out this month. This is just, an update that they've put out there, along with Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 they did the week prior, and Gran Turismo 7 always looks incredible. It's the most realistic racing game that you have outside of Forza. I would say it looks more realistic than Forza. Forza, I think, is the better game though, because Gran Turismo to me is too real. You hit like one little patch of dirt, your car's doing 360s. Like, I want to have fun racing without it being too real. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it always looks incredible. I remember Gran Turismo 3 on the PS3. I think it was Gran Turismo 3. It was, when I got my PS3, it was a bundle with Gran Turismo, and I remember being blown away by that. So I can't imagine how 7's gonna look on a PS5. But yeah, they gave us that. They showed more gameplay of that, more gameplay of Tokyo, Ghost Tokyo. These are PlayStation 5 exclusives. So again, you'll need the console to play these. Xbox, there's not many exclusives coming out yet, but I would imagine with all the studios are purchasing and have purchased, I would hope they're coming out soon. I will be doing another video towards the end of the month or the beginning of March for everything coming in March. There are some bangers coming in March that we'll get into, and we may dive into what we have to look forward to in the summer. The summer is always a very slow. The summer is kind of, that's where, movies take over. TV falls back, movies take over, and you have, your summer blockbuster hits. gaming also kind of takes a step back. That's when you'll see, you know, sports games and things like that, like Madden, FIFA, NHL, NBA. Like they're coming, you know, August, September, sometimes July. You know, MLB The Show I think comes out next month. But those are the type of things you see in the summer. And then the fall, Christmas is basically when gaming ramps back up again. So we're kind of in that time period where if it's not coming out from now until June, I would say, it's not going to come until the fall, Christmas time. So if you have a game you're looking forward to that they didn't announce a date yet, you better hope it's coming soon. Otherwise, we're looking like Christmas. But yeah, we'll get into it more with the games coming for March, coming out in March. We'll look at all platforms again and kind of go through the list. We'll see, we'll break down any news that may have come out around the time of the video, and we'll go from there. The console war is brewing. It has been brewing. It's continuing. We'll see if more developers are being purchased between now and then. The next video to look for is probably going to come in a week or two. We'll do a kind of a recap of more news that may have broken between then, kind of get an idea of where some of these games that have come out, where they're sitting, you know, score wise, how the fans are liking it compared to critics. We may break it down that way. We'll see. We'll get into it in the next one, and hopefully I've played something that was on this list in that time, so I can kind of talk about my own experience with it. So we'll get into it, but I appreciate you guys all listening. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. I want to know, what game are you looking forward to this month? What game, if it's already out or not, or it's coming in February, what are you most hyped about? If you've played Sifu, if you've played Dying Light, any of the games that have come out, what are your thoughts on it? Because the scores are kind of all over the place. Sifu's scoring pretty high, but extremely difficult, and people are quitting. Dying Light's scoring low, but people are having a blast with the game. So it's kind of like all over the place, and we'll see. But you tell me what you think in the comments. And again, the GGEN crew is pumping out content nonstop. This is the first of many gaming videos for the year. We have Comic-Con, not Comic-Con, sorry, quote unquote E3, whatever's left of it, possibly, to look forward to this year, as well as you know, PAX and Gamescom, and maybe we'll actually get a PlayStation event and have it not be a state of play. We'll see. COVID's still a thing, and a lot of people don't want to gather. So we'll see what happens. But again, appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at GGEN, GGENetwork _. Following us on TikTok at Gen_Nation. Twitch is GGENetwork, where we're streaming all types of games from Warzone to Guardians of the Galaxy to NHL 22. Like, we're all over the map. So make sure you're following, make sure you're looking for us when we're live, and hit that subscribe button so you can see when the next video drops on YouTube. We're all over the map, so we want to give you that content. Also, we have a new member joining the team, Wade Pool, aka Zuplex. He's gonna be pumping out videos talking all about comics. And no, not just the movies, but the comic books itself. So there's a lot of stories in those books that are gonna be relevant to the movies that are coming out in the MCU and DC. So look for Wade Pool to drop some knowledge on us with that. And as always, you got Chris doing entertainment updates, as for, you know, with all the movies and TV coming out. And again, we're gonna be all over, so you'll see me on, you know, Chris's thing, you'll see Wade on my thing, on Chris's thing, you'll see me on Chris's thing or Wade's thing. John will be on all of our thing, who knows. It's the captain's everywhere. We'll just keep an eye out is basically what I'm saying. GGEN is growing, the content's growing, and that's it. See you next time. Peace, everybody.